Hey there and welcome back to XCOM. My name is Pete and today we complete another episode of our XCOM Enemy Within Ironman Impossible walkthrough. Now in the last episode we completed a landed alien abductor UFO, we successfully dealt with not one, not two, but 3 mechtoids, and back in the base we started building the psionic labs as well as 4 satellites. Now today we will continue right where we left off last time with only one more day left until our next gene modification is completed, so let's begin the episode with some scanning.
Reinforcement to the muscle and bone structures in the lower body will allow our soldiers to jump well beyond natural human capabilities.
And here we are, Sniper George Teasdale has received the muscle fiber density gene mod, allowing him to jump to new heights without the need of any additional equipment. And with the procedure completed, we now actually have 6 soldiers with 2 gene mods each, and if we send them all out into the field and win the mission, that will be good enough for another achievement. What is likely going to be our next mission, however, that is a covert operation, and since the covert operative is technically also part of the squad, and since our covert operative Michelle Talpers has no gene mods whatsoever, we will have to wait at least until the next episode to actually go after this achievement. Still, with another mission right around the corner, let's continue scanning.
Excavation complete.
And indeed nothing else pops up in the meantime, and we do in fact have the covert operation coming up next. And it is yet another covert extraction mission, the same type of mission we just finished 2 episodes ago, so I hope things won't get too repetitive here today.
Excellent. We look forward to seeing your progress.
Now for this mission we will make some changes to the squad in the hunt of yet another achievement, as we will switch out Mech Trooper Nicholas Mahoney for our recently modified Sniper George Teasdale. With George we could potentially grab not 1 but even 2 achievements this mission, but first let's make sure everyone is equipped properly. That includes switching our heavy Kim Lupai from the skeleton suit back to the carapace armor, because despite Sniper George being able to jump all on his own now, I still want him to wear the skeleton suit regardless. It gives him a bit more mobility, and since he can move before shooting, that might come in handy, and to be honest, Kim can probably use the extra hit point from the carapace armor. George will of course also receive some laser weaponry thanks to EXALT's remains, and to go along with his scope he will also grab an alien grenade. And since we're not fighting any aliens today, we can also quickly give a second grenade to Adam, that is very likely going to be much more useful than the arc thrower. And that's it, I would say we are sufficiently prepared, so let's see what EXALT has in store for us today.
Our field operative was detected by EXALT forces while in the process of mining some valuable intel from their comm relays. Strike 1 will need to protect the operative while they finish decrypting the EXALT data from the other relays. If the operative goes down, we'll lose any chance of recovering that intel. We have a new objective.
So, it looks like we have played on this mission before, however not against EXALT but against the aliens, and after having just completed a mission like this, I don't think I have to go over the objectives again in detail. We all know what to do and we'll probably start with the comm relay closer to our operative, and I assume we'll find our first enemies somewhere over in that direction as well. So as always, our first move will be a long dash with Adam just to see what lies ahead of us. Alright, that didn't take long. Here we have 3 EXALT agents hiding right behind the relay, so we'll have to move a bit carefully here not to be detected, and then we want to put everyone into positions where we can maybe land 1 or 2 overwatching shots should our enemies move on their next turn. And as you can see, we're getting half of our squad up on the high ground, with George showing off his new and improved leg muscles right away. Our squaddy Kim will stay back a bit, her and Emilia will go on Overwatch, and our operative Michelle will simply hunker down and stay out of sight. And there we are, we have movement and EXALT has noticed us, but in doing so they also trigger a reaction shot from Emilia. She deals 5 points of damage, and that would normally be a very good start to the mission were it not for the second group of EXALT agents now barging onto the scene.
They're trying to flank us.
So things are starting off in very similar fashion to the last EXALT mission, with 6 enemies all active at the same time. And as usual in such a scenario, we will start things off with a bang, namely with a rocket from Kim Lupai. And wonderful, not only does it get her the first kill of the mission, but also a promotion, one that is way overdue in my opinion. But we have no time to celebrate, there are still 5 more enemies remaining, so let's continue with yet another rocket from our other heavy, Andrea Cook.
Launching.
That only gets us 1 more kill, but 2 of the remaining EXALT operatives are now severely injured. And that is where our sniper George and our operative Michelle Talpas now come into play. Now, there is an achievement in the game for killing an EXALT sniper with a sniper of our own. As you can see though, the only sniper that George can reach from here still has full health, so let's send in Michelle with a grenade to do something about that. This not only brings the sniper down to a much more manageable 4 hit points, but also gets Michelle her first kill of the mission, hopefully resulting in a promotion at the end as well. For now though, let's unlock the Good Day achievement by going after the kill against the enemy sniper with our own man George.
Dead and gone.
And there we are, enemy down, only 2 more remain, and in just a second it will be only 1 after Resilius has taken his shot here.
Keeping score.
Combat Rush and Double Tap now both activate for him, and we also still have the headshot ability available, so let's use that to go after the sniper on the far right.
See you in hell.
Okay, sadly no critical hit here, so the enemy remains standing, but we still have moves left with both Emilia and Adam, and let's use our support first to try and get us the kill here. The hit chance here is admittedly not amazing, but who knows, maybe she can pull it off.
I'm about to start keeping score.
And indeed she does, and that's all 6 enemies down, no additional ones are on the map at the moment, and we can use our last move with Adam here to already get into position near the relay. Since our operative is not yet in position, however, we do not have any reinforcements coming in. That will change on the next turn, however, as we now get Michelle into her spot.
Operative is near one of the EXALT comm relays, Commander. We just need to activate it to acquire the residual data.
As you all know, since we dashed with her, we can't hack on this turn, but what we can do is set up a few more overwatching positions, because again, more EXALT reinforcements will arrive on the next turn. Our current positioning isn't too bad as it is though, so we'll only make moves with Kim, Emilia and Andrea before we then put our entire squad on Overwatch.
We've got a wave of new contacts moving near Strike 1's position.
And here we go, as expected, 2 more EXALT agents are dropping in, and this is, I believe, also something that differentiates EXALT's elite troops from the regular troops, because if I'm not mistaken, the regular troops always came rushing in from the edge of the map, whereas the elite troops are dropping in from above, potentially in much more problematic positions. With these 2, however, we don't seem to have any issues at all. Before we deal with the one that remains though, let's hack the relay.
Down, Commander. Our operative hacked the system and decrypted some of their data, while also disrupting EXALT's communications. We should continue looking for any other relays nearby.
And with the EXALT operative here standing at only 2 hit points, I think we can do something with our 2 squaddies here, starting off with Michelle and her good old-fashioned regular pistol. And that is in fact enough to get the kill, otherwise we could have moved in with Kim as well. We are of course now no longer able to get Michelle up to the next relay on this turn, but to be honest, since that would only alert more enemies, maybe having 1 more turn here to catch our breath and reposition ourselves might not be such a bad idea. Our next objective is of course to hack that second relay, so let's get everyone a bit closer to that, and even though we don't have to, we can end the turn with a couple of overwatches. On the next one then, it is finally time to complete the second hack.
That's all the data we're going to get, Commander. Now we just need to get our operative to the evac point for extraction. Objectives updated.
So now we need to get Michelle over to the evac zone, but since we just completed the second hack, we will have more enemy reinforcements coming in. So while we will move around a bit, we won't dash with anyone, well, except for Sniper George Teasdale. With him, we can now grab ourselves the Mind the Step achievement, which is unlocked after using the Muscle Fiber Density Gene mod to jump up not 1 but 2 stories on the building.
Let's do this.
This gets George into a very good overlooking position, and the rest of our squad can now go on Overwatch.
We've got new contacts moving in, Commander.
And here we are again with enemy reinforcements, and one of them dropping right down on top of George. In total, we have 5 EXALT agents joining the party here, and they are scattered fairly wide across the map, so this time we likely won't be able to approach them with explosives. And when I say 5, I actually mean 4, because one of them got killed by a barrage of reaction shots, so this makes our task here a little bit more manageable. Now, we'll start things off with Sniper Resilius here, who can use a headshot to go after the enemy who's furthest away, and who does also land a critical hit, but sadly it's not enough to get the kill. With his second shot, we'll go after the enemy hassling his sniper buddy George, this one just a regular hit for 4 points of damage. With George himself, meanwhile, we can hopefully get ourselves another kill here with a guaranteed critical hit, which would then activate his In the Zone ability.
He's down.
And indeed it does, and that means George can now continue to fire as long as he keeps killing, and the enemy right on top of him presents a very good next target. Alright, he lands the critical, but once again the enemy just barely survives. But that's okay, we have plenty of other options. One of them is Emilia, who on the other side of the map can now eliminate the EXALT Elite Heavy.
He's down.
And with Adam and a run and gun, we can then also take care of the other Heavy over on the other side.
Moving out. Taken care of.
Okay, I thought for a second there that he might not actually be able to get the kill, but thankfully he does, and so we're now left with only one enemy. And for this one we can send our Heavy Andrea up onto the rooftop and then take a close range high percentage shot.
Dead and gone.
And that's it, that's the next wave of enemies dealt with, but since we can't actually reach the evac zone with Michelle on this turn anyway, we will probably have to deal with another one. So all we can do for the moment is to send both Michelle and Kim up a bit further and then put them both on Overwatch.
Hostile contacts closing on Strike 1's position, Commander.
And as expected, we do in fact have more enemies incoming, 2 of them dropping down right next to our Sniper Resilius, and then to make matters worse, a third one landing a bit further back, also on the rooftop.
Damn it, enemy is still alive.
Our 2 reaction shots also do not find their targets, and so we're now left with a bit of a tricky situation here, at least when it comes to that third enemy who is way out of range for our entire squad. From what I briefly saw when he dropped down, however, I think he's just a regular soldier or a medic, so luckily he also won't have the reach that, for example, a sniper would have. But let's take things one step at a time here, and I think the best first move here is to simply move Resilius out of the fray. He would only be able to take one single shot on this turn anyway, and both enemies are very close to him, so we'll have him sit this one out and instead fire a shredder rocket with our Heavy Andrea Cook.
With pleasure. Now this is gonna hurt.
This only does a few points of damage, but gets rid of the enemy's cover, and all subsequent attacks will now do a bit more damage as well. And we can hopefully use that with our Sniper George and maybe once again trigger his In the Zone ability.
See you in hell.
Alright, lovely. The first shot is a success. Let's see how he deals with enemy number 2.
Nailed him.
Perfect. That is how I had hoped for this to go. Still, that last enemy over in the shadows is worrying me a bit, because we really have no options whatsoever to deal with him at the moment. And as long as he isn't taken out, we can't actually end the mission. Yes, we could of course move our undercover operative Michelle to the evac zone, but that would only get her out of the fight and not end the mission. To accomplish that, we first need to eliminate all remaining hostiles, and who knows, maybe Michelle might actually be of some use in that regard, so we'll keep her on the battlefield for now. We will, however, make her retreat into full cover on the other side of the truck here, a position where she will soon be joined by both Rosilius and Kim, because I really don't want to unnecessarily expose anyone here. Assault Adam Work, meanwhile, can go right up to the building, he is cloaked after all, while Emilia will stay a bit further in the back and then throw a smoke grenade. She is just barely able to cover all 3 of our non-cloaked soldiers on the ground, and I think that is the best course of action at the moment.
Smoke out.
And here we have the EXALT operative revealed probably only because Adam is close by, and thankfully only going on Overwatch. With parts of the house crumbling down, Adam's full cover is now revealed, however, so that also reveals his position, but thankfully does not trigger reaction fire. And even if it did, Adam would be able to dodge it, and that is also why he's moving first here, getting himself into grenade throwing range.
I'm under fire. Catch.
Alright, cover removed, 5 points of damage dealt. Time to try and give our squaddy Kim Lupai another kill.
Got analysts waiting to check out the new data, and I'm sure our operative could use a rest. Good work out there, Commander.
And there we go, despite only a 67% hit chance, she lands the shot, and so ends our second EXALT mission of the month. With no injuries and 2 achievements unlocked, I would say it was quite the success, so let's send everyone back home to the base.
We can only hope that all of our future deployments go as well as this one did.
Okay, already up to 7 kills, Heavy Kim Lupai has more than earned herself the promotion to Corporal, and for her next ability we have the choice between Bullet Swarm and Holo Targeting, and we'll go with Bullet Swarm. In the early game, this ability may not be that useful, but as Kim continues to level up and become more accurate, it gives her a great amount of flexibility, and in most cases being able to shoot twice per turn or even to just use a grenade after the first shot is beneficial to a flat plus 10% aim bonus. Now it seems like our covert operative Michelle has also gained a level, so let's give her her second ability off the sniper skill tree, and while Snapshot is useful in some situations, the choice is an easy one in favor of squad side here. You can see how much damage Rosilius can already do with this ability, and having a second squad side sniper in the squad can make a lot of missions a lot easier. Now, the 2 promotions are of course not all the rewards we get for completing this mission. We also receive 100 credits and a 1-point panic reduction in Japan, and from the data we recovered we also learned that the EXALT base is not in Mexico. Our list of loot from this mission is then fairly unspectacular, just a wide array of EXALT weaponry, as well as a few weapon fragments and of course the intelligence itself.
Intel decrypted. Possible EXALT base locations narrowed.
Now, at this point, we could very well make the cut in today's episode, but the achievements have been flowing nicely so far, and with only 3 days left until the construction of our first Firestorm is complete, I would say let's try and grab one more before the end of the video.
I think we just leveled the playing field.
And there we are, we have constructed our first Firestorm and unlocked the Ride the Lightning achievement. We now have 2 of the Firestorm fighter jets available in our hangar in Africa, which as a result is now filled up to capacity. You can see the 2 Firestorms here with the call sign Demon, and you can also see that they're still equipped with avalanche missiles, so let's do something about that.
We've done some big things here, but I have to admit, my team and I are most proud of the work we put into the Firestorm.
Now, since the African hangar is full, we can't order any new Firestorms at the moment, but what we can do is purchase 2 laser cannons for the 2 we already have. And with those 2 laser cannons in hand, we can now return to the hangar and replace the avalanche missiles. Now, as you can see, the weapon exchange will take 1 full day, which is also why we will not be able to make space in our hangar for new Firestorms just yet. Were we to transfer the 2 interceptors over to other continents now, then we would have no fighter jets left ready for action and would be defenseless for 1 day. Now, I'm not saying that this is a huge risk, but it's not one we'll take, so instead we will first wait until the laser cannons have been installed and then we'll make the transfers. And by the way, it is also not possible to install weapons while transferring fighters, so sending the 2 Firestorms over to other continents while the weapons are being changed is sadly not possible either. Still, in 24 hours our fleet will have received a noticeable upgrade, and I would say that is a good high note to end the episode on. With 3 achievements unlocked, we definitely made a lot of progress today, and as you can see in the bottom right corner, in the next episode we'll likely get our first taste of plasma weapons, and in my opinion that is definitely something to look forward to. Now, for today we'll make the cut right here. As always, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, then I would be very happy if you could leave a thumbs up. If you want to support me and my channel further, then you can of course go ahead and subscribe if you want to, or you can also support me over on Patreon. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.